Alright guys, it's your boy Ryan Thomas from failtech.co.uk here, and I'm actually going to be doing a review instead of owning in 2016, bit of a weird one there. But I'm actually going to be reviewing my Razer Blackwidow Tenkeyless, or the Razer Blackwidow Tournament Edition. Now this is a bit of a weird one because it's a bit of an older product, but I still think it's quite relevant, and it's a keyboard, which is a bit boring, but I think it still has a place in the market. Alright, so first off, it's a Razer product, which means you're going to be paying a premium price for what it is anyway, but just because they can. I would love to be, sponsored by Razer and have all this Razer gear, but I don't, and I can't afford it, and I could not recommend it if you haven't got the money. If you've got the money, great, go for it. Some of their products are quite good, but in terms of this keyboard, it's kind of annoyed me over the past 3 or 4 years of ownership, but there's something that's quite important about it, which I just cannot trade out for any other keyboard, and believe me, I've tried. Okay, so first off, let's start with the price. What do you get, what do you pay for all this? You actually pay about £55 to £60. I actually paid £45 for mine because I got it on a deal, but they might have gone down in price by now. They're good to get used, but I would recommend buying new just because of some of the things I'm about to talk about. So first thing I have to mention, before I even get into the specs, what it's like or anything, is the removable USB cable. This is a big steaming hot pile of crap. It really is. You get one that kind of has a little slit in it so it kind of fits the perfect in the keyboard. That is, and it's braided and it's really nice. That soon goes. That just soon stops working. Or it did on mine. So I tried more cables, and obviously because it's on an angle you can't really use a normal USB without there being issues. So obviously it's mini USB, so I just have to keep rearranging it, and obviously when friends are over and they use the keyboard, they're like, why isn't it working? I say, because you have to unplug and plug the lead back in until you get it to work because it's loose. This is the biggest pain in the ass I've ever had to deal with any of my technology, and most of my technology doesn't work, so this is kind of important, and I wouldn't recommend it if you're thinking, oh cool, it's a removable USB, because that is the worst point of the entire keyboard. And also it is really, for that price, obviously you can get some backlit keyboards. This keyboard is not backlit in any way. The caps lock button is backlit, as well as the scroll button and one other button, but in terms of the actual keys themselves, they're not backlit, and they've got really, really low quality printing on them. So this is something I just really hate, because obviously coming from my Retina MacBook Pro, I've kind of got used to the illuminating keys, and now they're not like that. And I've just realised, you guys can see Gran Turismo 5, the little preview going on in the background. Love that game, by the way, but completely different, just had to add that in. Again, it's not reliable, and I can't recommend it for reliability. I think that's probably where it stops, the negativity, because there are a few things about this keyboard that I cannot replace without spending more money. The first thing are the Cherry MX Blue switches. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the blues. I actually prefer the browns and the reds, but the blues are pretty good. They're very clicky, and if you're in a terraced house of any sort that is bad, like I used to live, when I originally bought this, I was in a house down the road, and it's a really small house, and the ceiling, the floors are really kind of thin, and you could hear me typing all day. It's just a really, really loud and obnoxious keyboard. But it has a really cool tactile feel to it, and I said that since day one. I love the feel of mechanical keyboards, especially the Cherry MX Blues, because they are particularly clicky. Rubber dome keyboards, don't get me wrong, they're good, but if you've never tried a mechanical keyboard before, you really don't know what it's like, honestly. Typing on a rubber dome keyboard now just feels painful. It's just so mushy and horribly put together. A true mechanical keyboard is if you're typing a lot, you want one of those. So I would recommend it for the mechanicalness of it. Cherry MX Blues are amazing to type on, but they are a bit clicky and annoying. Secondly is the rubber soft touch feel on it. If you've never felt soft touch before, a lot of phones have got it, especially my Nexus got it on the side, Nexus 5 I believe has got it on the back, the BitPhoenix Prodigy case has it on the top. This has a soft touch finish. It's not quite as soft as those, it's less rubbery, but it's still it's a more matte kind of soft touch feel to it. It's a really cool feeling keyboard, but thank God it's not glossy, because oh my god, it would be absolutely destroyed by now if it was glossy. So thumbs up to Razer for having a matte finish. Okay, and I think probably the final part of this is just how small the keyboard is. So it's a Tenkeyless keyboard, like I explained, which means it hasn't got the numpad, which can be annoying. But, going to a rubber dome keyboard, it's a big trade-off. I would rather have a mechanical keyboard without a numpad than have a rubber dome keyboard with a numpad. Those are my two only choices. Obviously, you guys have probably more choices than me. Because it is so small, it just fits it takes up hardly any space on my desk, and when I had a much smaller desk, again, didn't take up hardly any space. It was amazing. And so that's what I can recommend this keyboard for. If you've got a very, very small desk like I used to have, get one of these keyboards. If you love mechanical keyboards, get one of these keyboards because it's very cheap for what it is, considering it is Razer. Now, like I said, I probably can get away with, unlike the 1M8 where it was kind of unusable because of just how bad the crashes were. As long as you've got a good, good solid blue tack or something, you can actually sort out that cable. And so I can recommend this keyboard. There we go, guys. It is an amazing keyboard, really, for the money. You're paying £50 for essentially a really, really high quality mechanical keyboard. Just that cable is a bit of an issue, so watch out for that. But I would recommend this. So thanks for watching, guys. This is my review. You get a full 2 thumbs up from failtech.co.uk, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.